Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today it's Thursday and it's August the 14th, 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you're a return viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets, so you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know, I sincerely thank you for your support. So feel free to like and to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. And our story today comes from Fort Bragg here in North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, another Fort Bragg soldier is charged with child sex crimes. I'll provide you with a summary here, and as always, I'll identify some of my sources for you in the description box. I want to begin this video with sort of a question. Have you noticed something that's a bit unsettling? We seem to be talking a lot about military service members who are being charged with child sex crimes. Over the past few months, we've talked about several of them right here on this YouTube channel, and they're not just from one branch of the armed forces, they're from all branches of the military. And I'm wondering whether all of a sudden sex crimes among service members appear to be dominating the news. Is this the new norm? Is this a new trend, or is the fact that these crimes are no longer being kept a secret? But whatever the reason, we'll continue to address them right here as time permits. And that takes us back to our story for today, and it's about a paratrooper pictured here. He's 36-year-old Sergeant Chad Michael Johnson, a combat medic assigned to the 44th Medical Brigade here at Fort Bragg. And he's been here on Bragg for a very, very long time, since around between 2012 and 2014. You're talking about over 10, 12 years. And just a few days ago, it was reported that Sergeant Johnson had been arrested and charged with multiple counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, and shamefully, the minors involved are very young girls. Now, the actual date of his arrest was Tuesday, August the 6th, but news sources began carrying the story on Wednesday, August the 7th. And according to reports, the arrest warrant indicated that Sergeant Johnson was accused of having multiple sexual encounters with very young children between September of 2021 and July of 2024. And he allegedly recorded some of those sexual encounters. A total of 5 girls, 5 young victims were identified, and they were between the ages of 12 and 16 years old. And once the allegations were substantiated, Sergeant Johnson was arrested by the Harnett County deputies and charged with 4 counts of first-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. And he was scheduled for a bond hearing on August the 12th, which was this past Monday. And this was not a hearing on Fort Bragg. The hearing was before a judge in Harnett County, which is just outside of the base. And at that bond hearing, the public was made aware of additional charges that were already pending against this Fort Bragg paratrooper. So these new charges stem from they included 4 additional felony counts for sexual peeping. According to the allegations pertaining to those charges, Sergeant Johnson allegedly installed a hidden cell phone camera in the bathroom of his off-duty residence and was using that camera to take pictures and videos of his alleged victims. It appears he had already been charged in this instance, so it may have been new to the public, but it was something that was already in the works. Now, so apparently these charges had been made on July the 23rd. I don't have a copy of the actual arrest warrant, which would definitely fill in some of the missing gaps. But don't worry, that portion of my presentation is coming soon. But ladies and gentlemen, in order for me to get to that next level and be able to bring you information from warrants and so forth, I do need your help. I need to be able to get to that first 1,000 subscribers. I'm really close. I'm almost there. I am currently at 670 subscribers, but I need to be able to get to that first 1,000 so I can take my presentations to the next level. And I am asking for your help. Please subscribe. Please subscribe and help me grow. I believe I'm providing information that's informative, but I could only tell by your response. So I'm asking for your help in helping me to reach that first 1,000 subscribers. Thank you in advance. When Sergeant Johnson appeared before that Harnett County judge for his bond hearing on August the 12th, he had two sets of charges. First, there was that 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, and then there were 4 counts of sexual peeping. So the first set of cases, the 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, he was issued a bond of $200,000. And for the second set of charges for sexual peeping, he was issued a bond of $20,000, and his next court appearance is scheduled for August the 26th. Now, this is what surprised me. There was no mention of child pornography charges. Now, based on the information in the warrant, he was recording some of the sexual encounter with these young children, and we know that there were videos and there were pictures, and it's possible that these charges of child pornography were embedded in the arrest warrant, but they were just not pulled out and discussed by the news sources. But so I was very surprised not to see it stating additional charges for child pornography, but I'm sure it will come out, probably will come out at a later date. And the Fort Bragg leadership has come out and issued a statement, a public statement regarding this incident, and it states, here's part of it: we are aware of the arrest of Sergeant Chad Michael Johnson and the charges brought against him. The command is fully cooperating with local law enforcement in their investigation. And what they were asking is that since these charges are in Harnett County, the Harnett County Sheriff's Office is handling the investigation. They recommended that any further questions on this matter be directed to the Harnett County Sheriff's Office. And based on the information that we've been provided so far, this man has been allegedly abusing children for over 3 years. So here's my question: have we really identified all of the victims? Are they still looking for victims? 3 years. So far, they found 5 victims. I won't be surprised one bit if there are other young girls out there who were violated and they have not yet come forward. But I'll try to stay on top of this story, and I'll provide you with updates whenever they become available. And that's all I have for you right now. Feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And by all means, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on the bell that looks just like this one, that's the notification bell. If you click on that notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.